So we have another Lucasfilm employee, we have another Star Wars employee attacking Star Wars fans on Twitter, and it feels like I make a video on this every single week. It feels like there's a new Star Wars employee every single week attacking Star Wars fans again, but usually it's some racist stuff from Justina Ireland or Christina Ariel. That's just low IQ humans. You can't really expect anything else from them. They'll be racist until the day they die. They will never change. They will never try to hear anyone else's point of view. They're just going to be racist forever, and for some reason they think they're making the world a better place. For some reason they think they're fighting the good fight by being racist. But this video isn't about Justina Ireland or Christina Ariel. It's not even about anyone that works on the High Republic. I know, shocking. We actually have a video about a Star Wars employee who doesn't work on the High Republic, who doesn't work under Kathleen Kennedy directly. This guy actually works as a voice actor for Rebels for Kanan Jarrus, and he also worked on The Bad Batch to voice Caleb Doom in the first episode of The Bad Batch. Now, this guy has a long history of attacking Star Wars fans, yelling profanity at Star Wars fans that disagree with him. He had a viral clip a couple years ago yelling at Star Wars fans on some interview show. Star Wars Theory reacted to it. Everyone saw it. He was pretty much just calling everyone who disagreed with him about the philosophy behind Star Wars an idiot. You know, just typical Lucasfilm employee stuff. But I think he's taking it a little bit too far. He's taking it way farther than he ever took it before, and I really think this guy's getting his feelings hurt at this point. And we'll talk about this later on in the video, but he even attacked my good friend, a Black Jedi, for simply posting a video about him. I guarantee you he didn't even watch the video. He just straight up attacked ABJ because he mentioned his name in a video in a negative light. But what do you expect when you come after Star Wars fans? Star Wars fans stick up for other Star Wars fans. That's how us in this space operate. If you attack ABJ, you're attacking me, and other people think the same way that I think. So I'm gonna stick up for ABJ, and ABJ has a whole lot of other people that stick up for him as well that have way bigger followings than I do. But not only is Freddie Prinze Jr. attacking Star Wars fans on Twitter, but he also admitted to attacking Gina Carano. He also admitted to making fun of Gina Carano when she was fired from Disney Star Wars. Let's get into it. So this article from Bounding Into Comics, once again, shout out to Bounding Into Comics. They write great articles every single day. This article says Star Wars The Bad Batch voice actor Freddie Prinze Jr. appears to admit to participating in online cancel culture mob against Gina Carano. If you recall, a Disney and Lucasfilm spokesperson fired Carano through a two-sentence statement. The statement began, Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm and there are no plans for her to be in the future. The spokesperson then added, nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their culture and religious beliefs are abhorrent and unacceptable. She never did that, but we don't have time for that in this video. Let's move on. The social media post in question was an Instagram story post that appeared to be a repost from Warrior Priest Gym podcast. And here is the Instagram post from Gina Carano. We already know what this is all about. We've already seen what it says. It doesn't say anything bad. It's not offensive to Jewish people at all. We already know this story. Let's move on to what Freddie Prinze Jr. has to say about Gina Carano's firing. Following this statement from Disney and Lucasfilm spokesman, Prinze Jr. shared a GIF to his Twitter from Jim in the holograms, where one of the characters slaps the other with a text reading "Girl, bye." And here is the GIF that Freddie Prinze Jr. tweeted out. Absolutely ridiculous and disgusting behavior by Freddie Prinze Jr., but that's definitely not all he did. He's done a lot ever since this happened. And he's not even the only Lucasfilm employee that attacked Gina Carano whenever she was fired, that put her down after she got fired from Disney Star Wars, and that's absolutely disgusting, but that's definitely not the only thing that Freddie Prinze Jr. has done recently. Even since the Bad Batch premiere only a couple of days ago, he's attacked a number of Star Wars fans on Twitter, and we're gonna get into that in 1 second. Now, Prinze Jr. seems to have admitted that this GIF was him engaging with a cancel culture mob on Twitter. His seeming admittance came after he received criticism for his voice acting of a young Caleb Doom in the first episode of The Bad Batch. Now, I will say I did love that first episode of The Bad Batch. I thought it was a great episode. I thought everything in it was very good. I thought the storytelling was great. I thought all the characters were great. And The Bad Batch went from a group of people that I really don't care too much about, that I really didn't like their arc in the Clone Wars too much, to me being extremely invested into those characters. I really did like the episode. But one thing that I texted ABJ as soon as I was finished watching the episode was Caleb Doom's voice was so bad. Why do they have a 50-year-old man voicing a Padawan? It took me right out the episode. It was the only thing that I really had to complain about in the entire episode. Objectively, that voice acting was bad. Objectively, they should have used someone else for the voice acting. If Freddie Prinze Jr. wasn't capable of making his voice sound like a little kid, they needed to find someone else. They didn't find someone else, and someone was criticizing him for it, and rightfully so. Fans pay for the right to consume the content that you're creating, and when they pay for that content, they pay for the right to critique the content as well. So this person by the name of Trizzy Vizsla says, your voiceover took me right out of The Bad Batch. I agree, it took me out The Bad Batch too. Great scene, terrible voiceover. I don't know why Star Wars still uses you. Hashtag Revenge of the Fifth. Now that is a little bit harsh to say I don't know why Star Wars still uses you, because I do actually like his voiceover for Kanan Jarrus. I just think that if Freddie Prinze Jr. isn't capable of making his voice sound like a little kid, and that's not a knock on Freddie Prinze Jr. Some good voice actors just can't do that. And I think he did voice Kanan Jarrus very well. I actually really like his voice acting in Rebels, but he was just not right for that role. He should not have been cast in that role. Star Wars definitely did mess up, but to say I don't know why Star Wars still uses you, he is a talented voice actor. He's an asshole, he's a scumbag, but he's a talented voice actor. He's just not talented enough to make himself sound like a little kid when he's 50 years old. So it's a little harsh to say I don't know why Star Wars still uses you. I don't know why they used him in that role. It didn't make much sense. But let's move on to yet another tweet from Freddie Prinze Jr. talking to Star Wars fans. Twitter is a place where people come to hate and hero worship. I don't care about either side of it. Heel versus babyface responds to this and says, but you do, you hypocrite. You were all too happy to jump on the Gina Carano hate bandwagon. Piss off back to Holly woke, you utter fake. And Freddie Prinze Jr. seems very prone to getting his feelings hurt by Star Wars fans on Twitter and other social media sites. We'll talk about that a little bit more later in the video. He responds to that tweet and says, bro, it was a gym and the hologram gift. That shit was funny, grow up. Maybe it would be funny in a different context, but Gina Carano had just gotten fired. Gina Carano went from working on Star Wars. Everyone's dream job is to work on Star Wars. I would love to work on Star Wars. If I worked my entire life to work on Star Wars and then I get fired for a social media post that wasn't even offensive if you actually read the post, that would hurt me a lot. That would put me into a deep state of sadness. And for Freddie Prinze Jr. to respond with someone slapping a woman and saying girl bye, that's just so scumbaggy. And I don't know how Freddie Prinze Jr. can't see where we're coming from. I don't know why he gets so hurt about this. And why is he defending the action? This guy's a straight scumbag, but he goes on to say even more after this. Heel versus Babyface then responds to that and says, I'm beginning to see why you're as irrelevant as shit if you think dogpiling the cancelization of a human being funny. Exactly, it's not funny, it's scumbaggy, it's a bad thing to do. You're a scumbag if you think that's funny. Imagine if you got fired and then people started posting funny gifs about you being fired. After you work your entire life to get to this point, you work your entire life to get your dream job, a job that anyone in the world would kill to have, and someone misinterprets an Instagram post, makes a headline, and you get fired over that headline. At the end of the day, Gina Carano did get fired because of cancel culture, but more than that, she got fired because of headline culture. She got fired because no one could be bothered to read past the headline. Not even Disney themselves, not even Star Wars, not even Lucasfilm themselves could read past the headline. No one cares about anything but the headline anymore, and that's a major problem in society today. The article then says Prinze Jr. has not replied as of writing, and maybe he hasn't replied to Heel versus Babyface, but he did respond to my boy ABJ. ABJ tweets out a video that he posted, and the caption says this: imagine attacking Star Wars fans, the very people that keep you employed. What a scumbag, at Freddie Prinze Jr. And ABJ didn't say anything wrong here. Imagine attacking the people, the very people that do keep you employed. If Star Wars fans didn't exist, if people weren't there critiquing your content on Twitter, then you would not have a job, because let's be real, outside of Star Wars, Freddie Prinze Jr. is pretty irrelevant. If it weren't for the character of Kanan Jarrus, if it wasn't for the fans that you're attacking, then no one would know your name. You should feel honored that people are tweeting at you and critiquing your work. That's an honor that people care about stuff that you're in that much. People love your character, man. People love Kanan Jarrus. People love Caleb Doom. And you're making it hard to like those characters. How can I like a character that has this guy voicing them? How can I like a character that I know their voice actor absolutely hates me, because I know Freddie Prinze Jr. doesn't like me? He might not know who I am, but as soon as he sees my Twitter account, as soon as he sees my YouTube account, I already know he's gonna judge me. I already know he doesn't like me. He doesn't like anyone on my side of the fandom, or anyone who shares my beliefs, anyone who shares my opinions. Lucasfilm employees do not stand for that disagreement stuff. You either fall in line like the sheep that they want you to be, or they call you all the istaphobes, or they yell at you on Twitter. And that's exactly what Freddie Prinze Jr. does here. He responds to ABJ and says, a YouTube story about me? You shouldn't have. It's funny how when your energy is matched, you guys are suddenly sweet victims. Making a video hopefully long enough to get monetized. Oops, didn't mean to pull your card like that. Give me a break, kid. You see, Freddie, you're a Lucasfilm employee. We are fans. We are consuming. We are paying to consume the content that you're creating. You're supposed to be above this Twitter nonsense. If someone critiques your work, you're not supposed to respond to them. Or if you do respond to them, at least do it in somewhat of a respectful way. You're supposed to be a professional. You're not supposed to be beefing with random Twitter accounts that were created yesterday. I'm not saying that's ABJ. I'm saying that's what he's been doing forever. And that's what he's done the last couple of days too. This guy's a scumbag. This guy's a piece of crap. I responded to this tweet and says, you're so hurt about these YouTube videos, I might have to make one myself. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. So hopefully this makes Freddie Prinze Jr. even more mad. You better believe I'm going to tweet at him and just let him know that I'm still posting videos about him. Let him know that the fandom will not stop posting videos about him if it does hurt his feelings. And maybe he shouldn't come after us on Twitter. But also Nerdrotic responds to this and says, make that money. Shout out to Nerdrotic. Like I said, people with much larger followings than me support ABJ. And it's not just because it's ABJ. They would support anyone that Freddie Prinze Jr. comes after, and they have done it in the past. The fandom will stick together against these idiots, against these scumbags. We don't care who you are. We don't care if you have a check mark next to your name. We're gonna stick up for the other Star Wars fans when they're speaking their mind. But let me know what you guys think about Freddie Prinze Jr. attacking Star Wars fans on Twitter. Once again, like I said, it feels like every single week I'm making a video like this talking about Star Wars employees attacking Star Wars fans on Twitter. It's really sad at this point, but it's the reality that we live in. The Star Wars employees hate the Star Wars fans, and I guess they'll just never learn that we're the ones that actually pay their bills. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about the whole situation. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel even further, then check out the merch store linked in the description. If you want to follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both of those links will be in the description as well. But thank you for watching the video, and hope to see you in the next one.